Good afternoon. You're here for the mayor's budget hearing for the Nashville Career Advancement Center. Appreciate your coming. Joined this afternoon by Council Lady Taneka Vircher, who's the chair of the Council's Budget and Finance Committee, by Talia Lomax O'Neill, who's the city's finance director, and by Mr. Brian Kelsey, who is the chief strategy officer for the city. Before we begin, I'm going to repeat what I've been saying now for several days, and you're the last one to hear it, that we had great revenue growth over the last couple of years. That's allowed us to expand services for the citizens of Davidson County. This year, we're not expecting such an increase in revenue, so we're asking departments to submit essentially a status quo budget. That way, we can continue to provide services to the community at the same level and maintain our historically low tax level. So, having said that, if you could give us, introduce yourself for the viewing audience and your guest, and let us know, or your, maybe not guest, maybe it's not right, your colleague, let me say, and give us a brief overview. We'll probably have a few questions at the end.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Mayor Briley. I know we are at the end of a long day, of a long week, so I'll try to keep my remarks as concise as possible. With me today is Brian Clark, our Deputy Director and head of all of our finance issues. Ellen Zinkowitz, our head of youth programming, wanted to be with us, but she is snowed in Philadelphia right now, so she was not able to catch a flight back. But I do just want to take the time just to say thank you also to just my entire staff. We have a tremendous team that's gone through a lot of success and also a lot of transition over the last year, and they've really been fantastic, and also the support of our board, the Middle Tennessee Workforce Development Board. Also, just as part of the ongoing budget hearings and the last department to go, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank all of the other department heads. Everyone in Metro has really stepped up and helped us out for all of our different initiatives, especially Opportunity Now, hosting interns, helping pay for interns, and so it's really been fantastic. And also to your staff as well in the mayor's office, especially our friend and colleague Ronnie Stein, who's really been instrumental in helping with the Opportunity Now initiative. So at NCAC, we really do pride ourselves on not only administering the city's public workforce system and the American Job Centers, but also really trying to be a driver of economic equitable prosperity and helping people get attached to sustainable career pathways, while also strengthening local businesses, helping them build capacity, and upskilling their workforce. In the last year, by far our biggest success, and really a true success for the entire city of Nashville, has been Opportunity Now. Our summer youth employment program, which is now a year-round youth employment program, we went from about 150 young people getting paid work experience in 2016 to almost 8,000 last year. And we really couldn't have done it without our team, but really the whole city rallied around us and rallied around the young people of Nashville, and it's really been amazing to see. So far this year, we already had, I think it's 1,000 new applicants just in the last couple weeks. We have over 14,000 young people, almost 15,000 registered on our portal, and 510 businesses, which is about 150% increase from last year. The nice thing about the portal that we've used for Opportunity Now is it helped us gather data and make some real good data-driven decisions for year two. What we saw in year one was that we had a much greater demand from 14 and 15-year-olds than we were expecting, and we did not have the opportunities for them. So we bumped up opportunities for that age group this year. We also saw a tremendous interest from the Antioch area of town. And we also did not have enough opportunities, so we added a 5th school to our libraries program, Antioch High School, to meet that need. Also in the last year, we've had a lot of success with the Nashville Construction Readiness Program. This is something that grew out of the local hire initiative, and it's really helped us find people that have never worked in the construction industry before and get trained and get that foothold in a booming industry here in town. And actually in the last year, we've been able to expand it from the Nashville Construction Readiness Partnership to the Nashville Career Readiness Partnership. We've recently added hospitality and healthcare trainings to that program. The other really exciting thing is we're also in the process now of procuring Spanish language only training for construction and for healthcare to expand opportunities to our new Americans community here in town. Where not only will they walk away with an industry-recognized credential, but they'll learn about things like wage theft and other issues that are really affecting that community. So that is our kind of two big pockets or pools of Metro funding. We also have our federal grant workforce funding. As you know, the last year was a big year of transition for us. Due to reactions to state policy, we ended up having to lay off or give a layoff notice to about 22 Metro employees. We were able to keep a couple of them. The effective date for that layoff was December 31st, and I'm very happy and proud to say that every single person was able to find a new opportunity. No one experienced a single day of unemployment. And both the finance department, the legal department, and especially Shannon Hall and her team of HR were extremely beneficial and helpful in that process. Last year at this time, we were talking about our federal grant program. We were talking about the president's skinny budget. We were anticipating and expecting and worrying about a 20% cut to our funding. Luckily, that did not come to pass, and it doesn't seem like it's going to come to pass for the next year either. This morning, I was digging through the federal budget that was enacted, I guess today, voted on by the House. And it looks like there's only about a 5% decrease in funding nationally for our programs. There's actually an increase in youth program funding and adult program funding, and a decrease in dislocated worker funding. Dislocated workers are people mainly who are laid off. So as the economy improves, unemployment goes down, it would make sense that funding would go down for that stream as well. But through our transition, a testament to the staff that is no longer with us. We didn't see a dip in service, and we haven't seen a dip in service with our new contracted service provider. We're still seeing about 3,600 unique visitors a month at our Career Center in Davidson County, with about 300 of them getting connected to training. There's still work to be done. We have a 2.7% unemployment rate here in Davidson County. But for 2017, the state's U6 unemployment rate was 7.9%. That's a measure of discouraged and underemployed workers. That's a little bit more of a true shot of the labor market. So we know that there's still a lot of work to be done, and so as we head into the next year, we're really going to focus on equity and how do we help people, especially in the promise zones, get connected to the workforce like they haven't been able to in the past, as well as partnering with our partners here in Metro, including the Office of Resilience, about how we can help the community be economically resilient, and continuing strengthening career pathways and industry partnerships. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you very much for your staff budget.
You're very welcome.
I want to ask you about Opportunity Now.
Sure.
You talked about the rise in the number of applications.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to be able to serve all those youth this summer?
Yeah.
Do we feel confident that we'll have places for those people to go?
We feel 100% confident that we will have enough opportunities for all of the young people who are interested this summer. And we fully expect to get to the 10,000 young people in paid work experience this summer. That was the goal from last year.
Okay, that's great. That's all I had. I just want to, I'd hate for all those applications to be sitting out there in youth. The 14, 15-year-olds not really, for example, not feeling that they have an opportunity to find something. So that's good. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Two questions. First,
Sure.
for the people who may not be familiar with the workforce development system, can you just explain sort of the regional nature of the enterprise and that this is not just focused on Nashville, Davidson County?
Absolutely. We're funded through the Federal Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act. That funding flows down to the State Department of Labor and Workforce Development, where they then allocate it to 13 local workforce areas. So we actually oversee the public workforce system in Davidson, as well as Rutherford, Wilson, and Trousdale counties. We operate career centers in Lebanon and Murfreesboro, and help the residents of those areas as well get connected to both job training and connection directly to employers, as well as soft skills workshops, resume building workshops, things of that nature.
Okay. Thank you. And employer engagement can be a challenge sometimes, and you guys are, if you've been sort of focused on that construction readiness partnership, you're now looking at other industries. How is employer engagement going as you kind of broaden the focus of the industries?
Absolutely. Employer engagement, I would say that employers are more engaged than I've seen in the year and a half since I've been here, and probably in a very long time. What I say always is we have a tremendous opportunity right now. There's a labor shortage for almost every sector right now. There's just a greater need than there are workers. We went into hospitality. It's grown about a 6% over year from the year before in the number of hospitality workers in town. They're about to open about 5,000 new hotel rooms in town, which means about 15,000 new employees. So they need our help as much as we want their help to get people connected to employment. So working with Gaylord, JW Marriott, Armitage, which manages hotels. I've had some preliminary discussions with the American Hospitality and Lodging Association about apprenticeships for some of the different hotels in town. And then obviously with healthcare, working with HCA, NHC, and a few other partners, just about trying to get people connected to mainly certified nursing assistant or lower level nursing jobs so they can upskill their current workforce to try to meet that RN shortage that they're seeing right now.
Okay, that's it.
So one question, the region that you're in, is there any sense that the region may change or expand or consolidate with Sumner County? Or
Absolutely. Things are always, the constant with the State Department of Labor lately has been change. So there has been talks at the last State Workforce Board meeting, and they'll be voting on at the May Workforce meeting, about expanding our area to include 9 other counties, that every other county that touches Davidson County, so from Williamson around to Sumner, as well as the Clarksville MSA, so Montgomery, Humphreys, Houston, and Stewart counties. So we are not sure if that will happen or not. The state has looked at this in the past and has decided to hold off on that, but they are looking now to align with the state's ECD areas. So that would potentially mean about another $4.8 million in funding, but that funding is already allocated and obligated for the career centers in those counties and the youth programs in those counties. But it would really be a great thing to lead to even more regionalism, as everything we know, transportation, housing, jobs, they're all connected. And bringing those things together, the RTA is 14 counties, and so talking about how people, where they work and how they get to work and where they live is going to be really important. So being able to do that on a much larger scale is something we really look forward to if that does come to pass.
Well, thank you for all that. And I think we'd be remiss if we did not thank the private donors who are offering amazing support for the Opportunity Now program. Without them, we couldn't do it. And so to the extent any of them are watching this right now, we want to say thank you on behalf of the kids of Davidson County. So thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.